I've been waiting so long, and I was resisting so hard, RV, to not text you and get your thoughts on this. I'm like, nope, I'm going to save it for the pod because I want it to be raw and real. But the United Motorsports moment of the night, I mean, it's got to be the Haiden Deegan, Seth Hammaker collision in the first corner.
Yep.
Here we go. I think we have multiple angles. And before I let the cat out of the bag and tell everyone, well, I mean, I tried to explain to everyone what I thought. From your point of view, RV, who was in the right? Who was in the wrong? Was it a racing incident? Or what could these riders do to avoid what happened?
Well, number one, if you are controlling the turn like Haiden had, yes, did he come over? Did he chop? Yes, he did. But number one, he controlled the turn coming in. I also, at first glance, didn't see that Seth had to go around Dax, right? Like right here, we're showing replay right there. They come over. That's, I think, ultimately what started it. Him having to readjust, go around Dax. Right here, you see him go around. He actually drops his left elbow, but at that point, it was too late. They were coming into the turn. Haiden was on his way over. So I think it's no fault, no harm on either side. It was, in my opinion, it was a racing incident. But
should Hammaker have slowed down and not try to go around the back?
With Haiden controlling the first turn, everybody else is subject behind him to watch what's happening and to be ready for somebody to cut you off. If you don't have, I'm talking one grip length on anybody, you're not in control of the first turn. So you are now subject to have literally eyes 360 degrees around your head to find out who's coming up the inside, who's coming from the right, who's going to come in behind me. If I get on the brakes too hard, am I going to get rear-ended? So there's a lot of things going on. I don't think it was Seth's fault, but I think it was a racing incident. I'm not going to sit here.
Oh, so you think it was Seth's fault?
I do think it was Seth's fault because he was behind, so he should have hit the brakes. He was behind Dax, and he should have hit the brakes. He should have noticed.
There you go.
That's my opinion. But I do think there's a lot of things that are happening and so fastly in
microseconds, dude. Yes. Microseconds, bro.
Yes. So be light. I'm going to say light on whose fault it was because it is a racing incident. But like I said, anybody controlling the first turn, everybody behind them is subject to figuring out breaking points, who's cutting across. How do you keep yourself out of trouble for something like that? You know what I mean? That's the thing. If you get a bad start, so I put myself as I had a lot of bad starts in my career. And at that point, as soon as that gate drops, if you have a start or not. And at that point, if you don't have that start, it is how do I salvage making through this first turn without ending up on the ground and coming out in a respectable position. That's so you got to make so fast, quick decisions in that scenario to come out, not on the ground, and that's not what happened.
Yeah. Ooh.
So man, there it
is. Dude, I love it. Dude. See, this is what I love about RV. And what he brings to the table here at Title 24. And he don't give a damn. He's going to tell it how he sees it and how he would approach it. And that's what we do here. You might not like it.
To the fans and to the Title 24 show, if I wasn't out there telling them, what I think. And look, it's my opinion. You can beat me up if you want, but go right ahead. I'm okay with it.
That's right. You'll be all right. Hey, that Greyhound's going to taste the same regardless, right?
That's right.
I mean, it was so and before we land this plane on our United Motorsports moment of the night, I know that Deegs plays the villain role. Do you feel like I mean, dude, listen, straight up, he's pissed everyone off. Not everyone, a lot of his competitors. And RV, you know that eventually you need friends. There's going to be times where you're going to be coming through the pack, and I do feel like it's okay to play the villain at some point. But do you feel like he's crossed the line, and he needs to pull it back a little bit?
Well, that is a fine line, and I was telling my father-in-law yesterday about that. And look, I agree with everything you just said, but what he has to be careful. He's walking a fine line right now with having some friends out on the track, but also with the fans. Like, I think he has to look. I'm still a fan of Haiden, but
Yeah,
man,
I am too.
It seems like every other weekend or every weekend there is something happening with Haiden. So this first turn pileup, for example, yes, you're heated, you're this, you're that, but to walk over to the truck, I think you need to go back and do a little investigation before you just go out and start, throwing mud on the wall. It's a first turn pileup. Half the time you don't know where it comes from. So, but I do think he needs to, I don't want to say clean up his act a little bit, because I like who he is. I like who he's being. I like who he's portraying, but also like I said, it's a fine line. You got to keep your fans happy, got to keep everybody on your side. And you also need to have a few friends out there on the track if you're in these championship positions as it runs down.
I think you like how he's just like, dude, he's just a dog. He'll race you hard. I think you like his grit, dude.
I do, but here's the other thing, like the move on Coty Schock. Aaron, I think
what's up? What's your position on Coty Schock? Okay, hey, it's last corner, it's 4 points. Take it away. What do you think?
Well, look, if you're watching right there, we'll run this replay a couple times. Dude, Haiden did have the inside. Was he closing on him super fast? He was. But look where Schock went. He made a little mistake in the rut. And at this point right there, they're almost equal. So if I'm Coty Schock, right, if I'm racing James, if I'm racing Dunge, if I'm racing any competitor, I'm taking a look over my shoulder right there, especially last turn. The scenario, how opened it was. Like, I seen that it hurt. He had a crack in the collarbone, and now his season's over. It broke the collarbone after that, or like I've seen some of that stuff on the internet.
What up, everyone? I just want to come on here and kind of fill you guys in on everything that's going on right now. I know there's rumors and all this, but I'm literally just coming to tell you myself. Daytona had put a hairline fracture in my collarbone, and it was healing. And then last night, the whole incident that I had in the main event solidified everything and fully broke the collarbone, and it's laying on top of each other now. So sucks, but I'm here in Southern California, and I'm looking to get surgery tomorrow and start the recovery process. So don't know when I'll be back.
But here's the deal. He was able to bridge that gap before the turn. It wasn't a T-bone. They were still going straight and they hit each other. Yes. Can you be pissed at Haiden? I mean, yeah, I guess you could. My issue, what I see is the compounding of, it's like I said, every other weekend or every weekend, he seems like he's getting himself into mud holes. And after a while, you get blackballed a bit. So needs to be careful. That's all. I mean, Ricky, put yourself in his shoes. If you're coming up the inside on James like that, your closing rate is very fast. You're going to get up to him before the turn. Like, look how fast he closed in on Schock. Like, I'm taking a look over my shoulder. Maybe Coty didn't think he was that close because the gap right now is huge, and all of a sudden he sucks him up. Maybe he had no time to look over.
Yeah. Okay. Hold up. Hey, hold up, RV. So, and listen, I thought I'm pumped for Coty Schock, and he's totally. I feel like he's had a break. I feel like he's had a breakout year.
Yep.
But this is new to him. This is new territory to him. Running up front, running with a guy on the last lap who is a SMX world champion, and he is a title contender for all intents and purposes. He's earned that right.
Yep.
If it's you and Stu, you and Chad, you and Dunge, even if you mess that corner up, are you leaving that much room? on the
No,
inside.
no, not at all. And I'm looking at my board, my sheet right now. I can give you about 4 guys that would have done the same thing in that scenario. I can give Haiden Deegan number 1, right? He showed us. We have the replay. I think Jalek Swoll would have done the same thing. I think Pierce Brown would have done the same thing in that scenario. If their closing gap is that quick and they know they can get up the inside, we're talking inside, the top 5, these guys that are racing, that know how critical these points are, that have been in this position. Like you said, Coty hasn't been in this position. He's not going to do that again. Watch. He
won't. He'll learn.
He's going to learn from it. I
It
think
sucks you learn that way. It sucks
is,
you learn that way, but
it is. But I think, like I said, with Haiden getting kind of stepping in mud a few places prior to this, I think it's now he's under the magnifying glass. It seems like every couple of weeks or every weekend or every other weekend, he's kind of in some type of conflict. You want to try to avoid that at all costs. I think you should race hard. You should play into the fans, and you should give the fans what they want. But there's a way to do that.
Hi, folks. Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.